It's been a little bit since the last update. I've been slowly working my way up from the water line, working my way towards the middle. Started running low on strips that were decent. I mean, I have lots of strips, but there's quite a few knots, so I need some more long strips. Ran to Home Depot about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, picked up two 2x8s, 12 feet long, and tried to find some with less knots. Just got finished processing them into strips. You can see it's still cheap wood, so there's still quite a few knots, but I can work around those. The bottom of the boat won't need full length strips, so that'll be where I use a lot of that. Made a little bit of a sawdust mess, even with the dust collector. At some point the cyclone filled up, so now the bag is about half full also. Now I get to go dump all that. Yet another scrap pile. So when I process my lumber, I use my planer to flatten both sides. Try to make the two boards the same thickness. And then I use the table saw to knock the rough sides off on the left and right. This time like I said, I did a better job picking the lumber, so they were as more usable wood. This little guy ended up working really well for doing the 1/4 inch width strips. Just running the board along the ball bearing. I need a new blade at this point. This one was definitely not cutting as good when I got to the last of the strips. But it was just a quick little update, let y'all know I'm still working on the boat when I can. We were camping last weekend, so I didn't get any progress done on the kayak. Rained on Sunday, but with the travel trailer, we still had a good time. My poor Great Pyrenees, after our hike in the mud, was gray instead of white, so he got a bath. But these top two larger boards is about all I did not process from the last two 2x4s. Or 2x8s. The first two boards actually had more scrap. This is just a little bit of it. I learned from my mistakes from the first two boards and got a lot more usable wood out of the second two. So that's good. This top one is probably still pretty usable, but I'll use what I already have cut down, and then if I need more strips, I'll go back to this one and get some more. This one is I cut all the good stuff off the both ends and ended up with, I think they call this heartwood, right, in the middle of the tree. So it's the wider grain on all four sides, and it's just full of knots, and I didn't want to deal with it at all. So I'll figure out something to do with it at some point. But these bottom two, I'm probably going to run through the planer a couple of times so they're the same thickness. And then I'm thinking about doing the router trick for the water line instead of trying to make it fit quite so perfect down the middle. So if I do that, I can use those bottom two boards for my straight edge to run the router across the top. But this is where I'm at. I just started fitting this one. I still need to clean up the edge, bevel it quite a bit, so I was just laying it up there. The cornhole boards that my wife was painting are out of the shop, so that's I was kind of waiting for her to finish that before I started throwing all this sawdust in the air. Sawdust and fresh paint doesn't work too well together. But that's what we got going on. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving for those in the U.S. Y'all have a good one.